All right, so welcome back to another episode. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different from the last couple ones. The main difference is that it's finally nice and warm and colorful outside, so that's fantastic. But the other difference is kind of a little bit along the lines of the storytelling aspect, I guess. I've already been out and taken all the photos and recorded all the video and all that stuff, and now I'm just gonna do like one big long voiceover and just kind of talk about the photos after the fact. I haven't really figured out what suits me best. In the past I've done a little bit of a mix of kind of like taking some videos and then talking while I'm out taking the photos and then talking afterwards to fill in the gaps. And then on the last episode I tried to say everything while I was out shooting, so I figured why not give this a try and just do a full-blown voiceover at the end. And definitely if you stick around, let me know what you think in the comments, because like I said, I'm still just trying to figure out what works best. So anyway, let's get this one started. It's finally nice and warm outside. The cherry blossoms in Salt Lake finally decided to start blossoming, and it's super pretty, so I figured what better time than now to go out and shoot some Portra 400 VC. VC for vivid color, which is great because it's colorful. This roll expired in 2011. I got it locally off like a Craigslist type classifieds website. I figured I would shoot it at 100 ISO just to give it one stop for its age and then one stop just in case it was stored poorly, and also because I like to overexpose Portra. I mean, who does it? That's what you do, overexpose Portra for the tone. Oh, and this is new. I got this camera a little while ago. It is a Mamiya 645 Pro. It's been a fantastic camera. I've only put 2 rolls through it, but they both turned out fine. It has an 80mm lens on it, which is like somewhere in the 40 to 50mm range on a 35mm camera, just kind of like a standard lens. Seems fantastic. The one annoying thing is that I hate carrying this around because I don't have the camera strap for it, and I don't really want to buy the camera strap since it has these little special connector thingies. So yeah, it kind of sucks to carry it like this the entire day. So yeah, this is the camera, and loaded up with 400 VC to take some pictures of the cherry blossoms at the Capitol. And these first 3 shots were very classic cherry blossom photos. Capitol, cherry blossom trees, pathway underneath them. All you can ask for, really. Knocked them out of the way quick. And luckily I was there pretty much all by myself. I mean, I got there pretty early, like 7 a.m. And I think a lot of people didn't want to wake up that early. So it was super nice. I could kind of pick out my compositions, not really have to worry about distracting elements. And if there was another person, it was just a runner, so I'd just wait for them to run by and then take the photo. And the other thing was that there was some construction going on while I was there. The Capitol is getting like a new building, so there's some interesting construction machinery that you can play with. I took a couple shots of those. Not particularly stoked on them, but it's something different. Maybe in a few years I'll look back and be like, oh yeah, that's when the Capitol was under construction for whatever reason. So yeah, I took those and then kept going. How the Capitol is laid out is it's like the Capitol is right here, and then there's a ring of cherry blossoms in a pathway around the Capitol, so I was just walking around that, taking photos of the trees of the Capitol. But then I got distracted because I saw these houses with their own blossoming tree that was colorful, but I don't know what kind it was. So I took this photo. This one I like. It's not as colorful as the cherry blossoms, but I think it's kind of an interesting photo. But then I decided to take another one, and I don't like this one. It's kind of bad in my opinion, but c'est la vie. I took the photo, and I was struggling to get through the roll, so I guess it helped in that sense. Took that picture at like 8 a.m. and then I walked around for about another hour before deciding it was time to go home and get back to work. And I would have just left with only 8 pictures, but I got lucky and this car was driving past right on my way out. So I took this one and I was super stoked about it. I do think I took this photo a little bit too early. I would have liked if the car took up more of the bottom of the frame, but I really wanted to make sure that I got the nose of the car. So anyway, maybe a little bit trigger happy, but I got the car in the frame and I think it worked out pretty well. And so yeah, 9 frames in the morning. My goal was to finish the roll in the morning, but clearly that didn't happen. I only got through 9 shots, so I was doomed to go back in the evening, which I really didn't want to do because I knew it would be packed. But for whatever reason, I had it in my head that it was more important to finish the roll that day than to just wait until the next morning. I went back, I got there at about 6:30. It was super busy. There were tons of people out, like having picnics, looking at the cherry blossoms, and a ton of other photographers. But don't worry, because I brought my M6 to flex on them all, so I was rocking that pretty hard. Yeah, it was vibes. But it actually didn't even last that long because there was some other dude there that had an M6 and a Hasselblad and a 50mm Summicron. So yeah, in the end it was me that got flexed on, and I'm pretty sure that nobody else even knew what was going on. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I quickly put my M6 away after that and then just focused on finishing the 645. I got through the roll, took a couple more pictures, took this absolutely classic close-up photo of the cherry blossoms, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I have to say that the roll worked out really, really well. Photos were all a little bit on the cool side when I first scanned them, but after some pretty minor color adjustments, they were looking very nice. And I was pretty stoked because I felt like you could see the resemblance between the 400 VC and the current new Portra 400. But I mean, I might just be saying that because I know that it's a Portra 400 VC, but let me know what you think. One fun thing is that when I first got there, I had one leftover frame of the new Portra 400 in this camera that I had to shoot. So I took one picture at the Capitol with Portra 400 and then loaded this up with the 400 VC and then shot this whole roll, which you've seen. So here's this, just a little quick comparison. Not scientific at all because the light's different, but just a fun thing to look at. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, thanks for watching. I'm definitely gonna say that this one's a win. The results turned out great, and I'm honestly wishing that I had another roll of this 400 VC because I would 100% go out and shoot it again.